998, 999, 1,000. Ah! Ah!
Focus on reading my Bible.
No, it's not okay. Why?
I'm sorry, I want to learn the Word of God. I want to become a priest.
Dude, priests are losers.
Where am I? God, is that you?
What's up, dog? I heard you wanted to become a priest, so here I am.
God, I have so many questions.
I know, dog.
I feel you, dog.
God welcomes you, Angel, to Priest Talks.
One day we came out and there was a car parked down along towards the end, near the hill. So we ran down to see the car and we were looking at this thing, and then who comes out of a house but a priest walks out, dressed as clerical colour and that. And we looked at him and we were chatting away with him, and I don't remember the conversation, but anyway, he went off, and there I decided that, okay, if he is a priest and he is a car, then I must become a priest. Okay, that's it. But anyway, I say I owe a lot of my vocation to my family. Very good practicing Catholic family. I never remember a Sunday when I'm the youngest of 5 children, and my 4 of us are still alive. We're all in our 80s now. My eldest sister is 87. My brother died there about 2-3 years ago. Then we said the rosary every single day together in the house. And if visitors came, they knelt down and said the rosary with us, and then they could talk afterwards. But that was it. I never remember a Sunday when every one of us did not go to Mass. Never remember one Sunday, ever. To join the order, I joined the order straight from school. Did my studies afterwards in the university and that, but I joined it when I was 17 years of age. I started, and that was in 1955. So. I started in 1955. I went to the novitiate, and I did my philosophy in that in Ireland, and then I went to Rome for my theology. I was there for 4 years without ever going back. I was ordained a priest in Rome, and then I came back to Ireland, and I was teaching in our school, that same school where I went to school. I was teaching there for 4 years, and I was in the mission office for 2 years. Then I got an assignment to go to where a lot of our priests were. There were 53 at the time. I was asked to go to Nigeria. Well, then we had to do our studies for a start, and it was 7 years as I stayed doing our studies, and then how you continue on that, how you develop that, and new things are coming out. I was ordained before the Second Vatican Council, so you can imagine the change that brought around at that particular time. It was something incredible, but. We had to read about that, we had to learn about that, we had to study about it, see what it was all about, and then see how we could put that into effect, first of all, in our own lives, and then dealing with the people with whom we dealt. It's a challenge. Some people turn a very deaf ear. Some just don't want to even talk about you or about it at all. They want anything, whatever to do with it. Then you have others who are, semi-involved, and other people then who are extremely. They really want to be completely involved, and they challenge us to be able to be what we should be to them and for them. But the spirituality, it must be built up in our faith formation first of all, and then our spirituality, which for us, as Augustinians, is an Augustinian spirituality, which is based on the community and the fraternity, and the community is based there. I would have to start with Christ, because that's the start, and what and who He means to be, or what He means to be, or who He is to me. And it's very difficult to explain to somebody who has no idea. We believe we have the presence of Christ within us. Very hard to explain that to somebody who doesn't have any concept of it. It does make them think, yes. But it depends really on who they are. To a Muslim, there are similarities between the Muslim religion and the Catholic religion. There are some similarities there. They would consider Christ as a prophet, not as a son of God as we have him. Then you've to some of the non-Catholics, then this position of Mary in the church is another one again, which can cause a bit of obstacle there. Then the fact of marriage, we not be married, taking a vow to Christ not to marry, and a vow of chastity, that's what we take, of celibacy. We take that, and to try and explain that to somebody can be not very excellent. They think we're around the beam, or we're way out, or whatever, But it's to explain these things to people is not the easiest thing in the world to do. To depend on their questions, and little by little you could question, answer, and then bring in facts of my own life and what I believe is my own calling. The experiences we've had as a student, our ordination as priest, and where we worked as priest, and the different experiences there, all these things would come into effect, and how you deal with them. Once again, they've changed since the Vatican Council. Now, before you used to have the minor orders, then you had the sub-diaconate, diaconate priesthood. That's what you had before. Now you have a few of the minor orders, you have them there, all right. But now the first thing is that comes now is the diaconate, become a deacon. And you have two kinds of deacon. You have lay people who are deacons, and you have those who are going on for the priesthood. One is a permanent diaconate, and the other is transient. Is going away. It's only a matter of time, let's say 6 months or a year. That is when you're preparing for the priesthood. So you're just transiting from diaconate to priesthood. But the others are permanent, and they can be married people or whatever, And that's a long course now too. Actually, it goes on for about 4 or 5 years, I think. So for the priesthood, you do your preparation for that, and then. For us, as Augustinians, as religious, you must be in your final vows, your solemn vows, before you can become a deacon.
Let's give a round of applause for Father John Grace.